We are inside the Armory, a jam-packed crowd here in the Twin Cities, getting set for our first bout of the evening between Chris Colbert and Austin Dulay. Let's take a look at our Corona, tale of the tape Corona, who invites you to find your beat. It is a battle between two young fighters. As you see, Dulay is 1 year older. The height advantage in favor of Dulay, but the reach, a slight advantage to the man known as Little B-Hop. Good evening and welcome to the Minneapolis Armory here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Live on FS1, this is Premier Boxing Champions. The action begins with 8 rounds in the super featherweight division. Your referee in charge is Gary Mizwa. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes in wearing the multicolored trunks. His professional record, 7 wins, 2 of those coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Golden Child, Chris Little B-Hop Colbert. And across the ring, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner. He comes in wearing the white and the red. As a professional, he too is undefeated. 11 wins, 8 of those coming by way of knockouts. Hailing from Nashville, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Austin the Dream Dulay. Dulay 11-0, trained by his father, Fred Dulay.
Hey,
both fighters looking to make a statement here at 130 pounds. We are underway as Dulay a southpaw, Colbert conventional. Ray Flores, Robert Guerrero, Jordan Hardy. Great to be here on the season debut of PBC on FS1. And boy, do we have a thrilling card from top to bottom. As so far, Colbert and Dulay starting off the evening, Robert.
Starting out, measuring each other out, filling it out. Both guys eager to get in there and find their way in. You know, they're looking for those spots.
Colbert was pretty adamant to us in the fighter meeting, saying that his speed will be a very big difference. When we asked him in regards to just 2 knockouts to his resume, he said, look, he goes, my goal and the game plan is to stand there and not get hit. I could easily drop guys, but I just don't like to get hit, which is the name of the game.
Oh, yeah. You know, you want to last long in the sport. Don't get hit. Don't take the beating, don't take the punishment, and that's what he's been doing his career.
Colbert coming off a decision victory over. As we go ahead and see that Austin Dulay, southpaw, training under the guidance of his father, Fred Dulay, was with Ronnie Shields, but decided to go ahead and make the change squarely to his father. His father was with him the entire time, but they felt it just wasn't the right fit, which is why they relocated back to Nashville. For Colbert, that victory in November over Titus Williams. This fight was supposed to happen, we were told, on one other occasion earlier in the year, but an injury to Colbert delayed the fight. And this is Colbert's first fight this year. We saw Dulay on 2 occasions here on FS1 last year. A victory over Carlos Padilla. That was the night before Mayweather-McGregor down in Miami, Oklahoma. Also, we saw him in May of last year as well over Christian Esquivel. Both times he looked very impressive.
Colbert landed a nice jab, you know, keeping him that day.
Colbert sliding that right hand down the middle. Dulay is reaching, but Colbert, as soon as Dulay comes and tries to press the action, Colbert moves out of the way and sticks him with the jab, followed by that straight right hand.
Yeah, he's keeping great distance. He's staying in range to land his jab also, you know, when he makes that half step back.
Colbert stated that Dulay has never fought anyone of his caliber, and he's very supremely confident that he will take him into those quote-unquote deep waters.
Kind of looks like almost a little Pernell Whitaker moving in there.
He said those were one of the fighters that he looks up to, that along with Floyd Mayweather and obviously Bernard Hopkins, which is why he has the moniker Little B-Hop. That ends round 1. And we'll come back with more of PBC on FS1. Welcome back to PBC on FS1. Here in Minneapolis, Austin Dulay being guided there by his father, Fred Dulay. Also, and Mike Rodriguez. Mike actually going ahead and dealing with the corners with a heavy heart as his uncle passed away earlier today in Northern California. But Austin Dulay, 11-0, looking to get that dozenth victory here tonight against Chris Colbert. And Robert, what I love about a fight of this is that they're both so young in their careers, and to be able to match up against one another is a very big risk, but both of them seem willing to take that.
Yeah, they want to take that step higher. They want to get up into those rankings, and you know, they want to prove themselves, and that's what one of these fights, you know, two solid undefeated fighters.
Break, don't punch. Be careful, guys.
And that's what gets you there.
Break, I mean, okay?
And Mark Nelson telling the fighters about breaking when he says so. Chris Colbert with green hair. We will get into that with Jordan Hardy in a few moments. Colbert with his jab. And now he's actually gone to southpaw, which is maybe trying to throw off Austin Dulay. So as he's changing up his stances, is Colbert.
It's allowing Dulay to close the gap a little bit too. So, you know, he's throwing nice jabs at the body. You know, those will start adding up later on as the rounds go by.
Well, Colbert is varying the levels of his jab. We see it go downstairs to the body. We also see him bring it mid-range. He's just varying the placement of his jabs.
Yeah, he flicks it out there really quick, you know, at the perfect distance where, you know, anytime Dulay is going to try to make a move, you know, he just flicks it out.
Nice shot by Colbert as Dulay smiled at Colbert. You can tell that it is getting to Austin Dulay, the 22-year-old. Dulay dubs himself the fighting pride of the 615. As a guy he looks up to and is what I would say a mentor is Caleb Sweethand's Plant undefeated super middleweights. Both of them very close as Plant in attendance here to support his fellow hometown Nashville fighter. And a nice straight left hand that connected for Colbert. It all started off with the jab, and then it was a right hook, and then that straight left down the center.
Yeah, Colbert's he's landing a nice jab, which is getting him in range to land that straight right hand.
Colbert stated, "You will tell that I'm getting very comfortable when I stand in front of my opponent and really start sitting down on my punches." And he is moving, but typically Colbert is a little more mobile, so it could be a sign that his confidence is growing, that being Colbert.
Yeah, he has those quick feet to get in and out really fast. And then also when he does it, he fires that jab off of it, which breaks everything up from Dulay. As soon as Dulay comes in, just like he did there, you know, he fires the shots.
Dulay trying to close the gap, but Colbert having his way in the early going. We'll come back with more of PBC on FS1 here from Minneapolis. Welcome back to PBC on FS1. Chris Colbert there with his coach Arilano Sosa, as he has green hair, and that is a tribute, as we will send it over to the third member of our broadcast team, Jordan Hardy, with more on the green hair of Chris Colbert.
Ray, thank you so much. So you guys tuned in maybe wondering why Colbert's hair is dyed green, and you may be surprised, but it's not to be flashy. He told us yesterday in the fighter meetings that he did it for one of his sponsors' daughters who has cerebral palsy, and green is the color that represents it. Today is also her 20th birthday, so Tajay, he wanted to make sure he showed his support tonight by sporting the color for awareness. Ray?
Thank you very much, Jordan. Wonderful cause that Colbert has donned the green hair. He can pull it off. I certainly cannot, Robert.
Neither can I.
But right now what he's pulling off is he's looking very impressive. But Dulay started off with more aggression here in this third round. It could be a case, Robert, do you think that the father, that his dad Fred, is telling him, look, you got to be more aggressive, you got to put off the ring?
Yeah, he's wanting him to close off that gap, you know. He's giving Colbert too much room. You know, Colbert's keeping him at bay with the jab, and anytime he tries to get in, he lands the shots on him. So, you know, you want to close that gap, you know, especially working behind the jab, because he's getting out jabbed right now.
Austin Dulay snuck in a straight left. Colbert, 7-0. He's actually a part of a Netflix documentary that followed around 3 fighters, and Colbert happened to be one of them. And that was actually the documentary Counterpunch, where people got an opportunity to get to know Colbert a little bit more. And when you speak with Colbert, he's certainly very articulate. He said, look, boxing is a business. I want to get out of here when I'm 34, 35, and I have all my faculties. I want to make my money and then ride off into the sunset.
Oh, yeah, that's what he was talking about. And if he keeps working hard, he can get it done.
So far, he's looking impressive, but Dulay is shown more aggression here in round number 3.
Stop! No,
That was a push down by Colbert.
No knockdown.
Mark Nelson
Back up. Here we go.
taking control. And more of the jab under a minute to go here in round number 3.
Looks like Dulay's starting to get a little frustrated in there, trying to make his way in, because anytime he gets counterpunched just like that, walking in.
And Colbert with the blistering straight right hand moments ago.
Yeah, I like to see Dulay work that jab a little more, close that gap, and get into the inside and make Colbert fight.
There is such a big disparity when it comes to the hand speed between Colbert and Dulay. Dulay is having a hard time timing him and also just dealing with the frequency of the jabs and where the punches are coming from.
Well, that's why he's having the trouble timing him, is because Colbert keeps working that jab, just keeps picking and poking at him, and every time he makes that move, he either gets jabbed or he gets countered with the straight right hand.
Another slip there as we near the end of round 3.
Obey the bell. Time.
That's the end of round 3. We'll come back with more PBC on FS1. As
Careful, watch your feet,
we
guys.
begin round 4, Jordan Hardy was in the corner with Austin Dulay, and the instructions are come forward, use your jab, and change the direction of this fight now. You have to be first. So Fred Dulay giving very good instructions to his son as they sense that the fight is slipping through their fingers.
That's exactly what I was saying, Ray, is work behind that jab, close that gap, and fire your shots. Make Colbert fight. Make him exchange with you. On the outside, he's way too quick. He's throwing a great jab, and he's keeping him at bay. So every time Dulay will come in, he'll just counterpunch him, just the way he's doing it right now with the jab.
And Colbert is landing punches in bunches, combinations, and showing that he is the superior ring general, at least through the first 3 rounds plus. Another straight right hand by Chris Colbert.
Well, right now he's landing whatever he wants to land. He has control, and by establishing that jab and then the hand speed also, that's allowing him to do what he wants to do in the ring.
Aureliano Sosa, the trainer of Colbert, they were very confident heading into this fight. 100 seconds to go in the 4th. They feel that Colbert is the complete package. He trains alongside Richardson Hitchens, Earl Newman, Julian Sosa as well. So there is a very good crop there. Very young, hungry fighters that Aureliano Sosa has in his stable, along with Terrell Miller as well. And a clash of heads.
Oh, yeah, he comes out of a young, tough, strong stable, and that
watch your heads,
they're all
guys.
rising together. They're all getting better and better.
Another straight right hand down the center for Colbert. If you're Dulay, are you surprised that he's not attacking the body? Because the movement of Colbert, along with the hand speed, is giving him issues. And what a left hook that was started off with the lead right hand by Colbert. But the body attack, are you surprised that we've seen that out of Dulay?
Yeah, I'm surprised, because he came out the 2nd round and he was firing some straight jabs to the body, and he was landing. They were being effective. I think he needs to work that more. You're absolutely right with that, Ray, and I think he needs to start mixing it up a little more. Like his father said, he needs to start being first, and he needs to start putting that pressure behind the jab.
Robert, you haven't been in there with a variety, top-level, world-class fighters. Obviously Floyd Money Mayweather, but when you're dealing with someone who's quicker than you, is it easier to focus in on the body because the body will not move, the head will?
Yes, it is easier to focus on the body, because just like you said, the head moves, but the body doesn't. So, you want to drive those shots to the body, and, once the body goes, the head goes also.
Colbert and Dulay engaged
Stop
in
at
a
the bell.
big matchup here tonight, as we will come back with more on PBC on FS1. Welcome back to PBC on FS1. Robert Guerrero's unofficial scorecard. He has Colbert ahead, having won every single round.
Right here.
Yeah, I think he's just working great behind that jab and landing nice,
Don't
great
touch him
counter
when you
shots.
stick your hand on
Anytime
it.
Dulay makes a move, he fires and lands the shots, and he's out of there.
We are here at the Minneapolis Armory. The first time they have held a fight here in 45 years. Sugar Ray Robinson fought here in 1942. Joe Louis in 1937. Also was the home of the Minnesota Lakers before they relocated to Los Angeles. Minneapolis Lakers, I stand corrected. And George Mikan being the cornerstone of that franchise during that time period. But right now, Chris Colbert is hoping to be the cornerstone at 130. And Dulay has his sights set on that as well, but he has quite a bit of work to do here in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, you see Colbert, he comes out of the corner, immediately starts establishing his jab. You know, once he goes to work with that jab, you know, he's hard to hit, especially how quick he is on his feet.
A couple of echoing right hands to start the fifth round by Colbert, and you can see that the flashiness that he exhibits is starting to become more prevalent.
Yeah, he's starting to get more comfortable in the ring. He knows he has control. Once he works behind the jab, you know, everything else comes. So it's allowing him to be able to, you know, fool around a little bit and move around. But, you know, you don't want to fool around too much because Dulay can punch.
And a straight left hand down the center for Austin Dulay. He needs to be able to start to put together more punches in bunches or land the more authoritative shot, especially here in this fifth round, to try to swing the momentum in his favor.
Yeah, he needs to put on that hard pressure and really start making him fight. He needs to make Colbert get out there and exchange with him. That's where he's going to be at his best. On the outside, he just gets caught with shots like he just did now.
And
Keep
Colbert
him
is
up.
back to
It's all right. Keep the
southpaw,
punches up.
pumping that jab, whether he's in southpaw stance or orthodox. The one item that you will always see out of Colbert, at least during the course of his young career, is the constant stream of the jab.
Yes, I mean, you get a young fighter like Colbert firing a great
Stop,
jab,
don't punch.
especially
Stop
how quick he is, how elusive he is in the ring. He's a hard guy to figure out in there.
When we asked him about making his national television debut, Colbert said, look, it's the same stuff. I have to go out and handle business. And when it comes to his power, he said that is going to come. It is a part of the maturation process that I am going through as a fighter. That's a lot of wisdom for a guy that's only 21 years of age.
Oh yes, you know, to have that mentality going in there, you know, that's what you want. A lot of people get nervous, you know, when
Stay
they're
off his
making their
neck.
television debut.
Stay off his neck.
When they make that debut, you know, they're really nervous and they want to come out and be spectacular. And he's coming out and he's fighting a great fight so far.
We're on the opposite end, Robert. Like yourself, some guys just thrive under the lights. And Colbert, at least in his national television debut, is thriving on this stage.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's doing a great job, Ray.
As we near the end of round 5 here in Minneapolis.
All the way back.
Colbert, very fresh, as Colbert has been getting the better of the exchanges and exhibiting superior hand speed.
Yep, comes right out, starts firing that jab, establishing his ring generalship in the ring.
Another straight left hand as Colbert is back to southpaw here in this 6th round. Ray Flores, Robert Guerrero, Jordan Hardy. And now we'll send it to the third member of our broadcast team, Jordan Hardy, who has more in terms of what's going on in the corners.
Ray, thank you. I was over in Colbert's corner, and I heard him tell his corner, I just want to finish this guy. But they said, no, stay calm, don't take risks. You're doing great. Just stick to boxing, stick to the game plan. Use the jab, go to the body, work up and down, and send that straight left down the middle. He's pretty confident. We'll see how this goes. Ray, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jordan. And quality instructions as we see that Colbert has gone back to conventional. So he's an ambidextrous fighter, is Chris Colbert. A nice straight right hand that connected, and Colbert is demonstrating quality skill, as the old adage is, skills pay the bills, and now it is Dulay who's pressing the action. He had Colbert against the ropes and allowed him to escape the corner, and then gets clipped with 2 punches.
That's where he wants to keep him, Ray, all night. You know, he needs to make it a fight.
Keep your head up.
especially here as a big 130-pound matchup taking place next week in Brooklyn with Gervonta Davis, Jesus Quayshawn.
Keep them up,
It's
man.
a big matchup,
Keep
but
the
you
punches
have
up.
this
Come on,
young
man.
group of guys
Borderline.
between
Keep 'em
Colbert
up,
and
man.
Dulay, and Colbert wants to separate himself from the rest of these budding prospects.
Yeah, Colbert wants to jump right in with these guys. He wants to make his run, and he wants to be right in with the top dogs. And he's looking great right now. He's doing a great job behind that jab. He looks really comfortable in the ring. He's putting his punches together.
Under a minute left here in round 6. More of the jab, as Jordan mentioned. Colbert is following the instructions from his trainer, Adriano Sosa, to a T, but now Dulay needs to go to work here and let the leather fly. Dulay with the straight left, but Colbert backs him up. And that is, again, a part of the growth process. Colbert could have easily escaped or tried to get out via his legs, but instead he backed up Dulay with his punching.
Yeah, he hit him with the straight left hand and walked him back.
And a big shot, down goes Dulay, and I wonder if that was a...
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You good?
And that is the end of the 6th, a knockdown rule by Mark Nelson. We'll come back with more of PBC on FS1. Welcome back to PBC on FS1, a knockdown at the end of the 6th. Robert, take us through it.
Right there, he set up that left body shot right there and then came back. Dulay kind of turned his head in the back a little bit, but I think it was the body shot that was effective.
It certainly looked like that's what put him down. Dulay was saying he got hit to the back of the head, but Mark Nelson said that he invited the punch, he turned his back, and therefore ruling it a knockdown. So as if Austin Dulay didn't need to overcome a massive deficit, the lead gets bigger for Colbert.
Yeah, he needs to really come and let it all out right now. He needs to go for broke.
Jordan Hardy was just in the corner with Austin Dulay, and his father, Fred Dulay, told him, you have 2 rounds to do this. Don't worry about the scorecards. You got to go to work. And there was a period in the 6th round, Robert, when Austin Dulay had Colbert against the ropes, and he only threw 1 punch at a time. There was a period of 4 seconds when he didn't even unleash a punch, and that is so detrimental to what he's trying to do.
Yes, it has to do with that hand speed. Colbert has that hand speed. He sat there and he's comfortable. I think he sat there and laid in the ropes because he was waiting for him to come in, trying to bait him in to land a big shot.
And an uppercut for Colbert. We are seeing more tools and more variety of different punches that Colbert is exhibiting here in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, he needs to use it all right now. He needs to step on that gas. 7th round, he got this round and the next round to try to finish him.
Dulay, and also looking at the body language of Austin Dulay, it is apparent that he is frustrated and that he's never been in a position like this against somebody who is as elusive as Colbert.
Yeah, he's really frustrated. He's kind of befuddled right now, it looks like it. Now Colbert's just doing what he wants to do. He's punching, straight rights, straight lefts, throwing hooks, body shots. He's pretty much just picking his shots, what he wants to do right now.
Nice shot, a left hook by Colbert, and they are in close distance. An uppercut by Colbert and a left hook. The man known as Little B-Hop also calls himself the Golden Child, does Colbert. An uppercut that got through the guard as we are under a minute left here in round 7.
Yeah, he took charge of the fight. He's doing anything he wants to do in the ring. He's looking for those openings. Rolling with shots, countering.
Well, Dulay, there was a sense of urgency in the corner of Dulay, but the way he has performed here in the 7th, he has done the polar opposite.
Yeah, it looks like he's, he's in cruise control right now. Like he's just moving in, and I think he's trying to figure out, trying to get past that hand speed also. It's, dealing with that. And then also punches coming from different angles. It's a tough deal to handle.
The bell here.
Colbert with some gamesmanship patting the head of Dulay, if you caught that just a couple moments ago. And Dulay complaining about hitting behind the head as we
Time.
end the 7th round. We'll come back with the final round coming up here on PBC on FS1. We are back here in Minneapolis, and the fight is
He's unable to
over.
come out.
Mark Nelson went to the corner of Austin Dulay and he said, "Do you want to continue?" And he said, "I want to continue," but he wasn't as forthright. They asked him again.
I went by him, initial, that's it, it's over.
And Mark Nelson went over. He said, "I went by his response." And
He
Dulay.
wasn't going to continue and come out for the next round, TKO.
So this fight is over as Chris Colbert defeats Austin Dulay. Dulay unable to answer the bell for the 8th round. Ladies and gentlemen, the corner of Austin Dulay
Right here,
unable to continue. Therefore, your winner at the end of the 7th round by technical knockout and still undefeated, the Golden Child, Chris Little Beehive Colbert. And that is a very big victory for Chris Colbert, making his national television debut in style as he elevates his record to 8-0, handing Austin Dulay the first blemish on his dossier.